Hey, what is going on, guys? Bruin Steel here, and welcome back to another video. And today I got another Boston Celtics video for you guys. So I did a video a couple weeks back, basically talking about how the Boston Celtics needs to win another NBA championship, and this is the year, man. This is the year, man. I just want to talk about the playoffs. What is the expectation for the Boston Celtics in the playoffs? But the Boston Celtics has officially, well, they already have, but they have officially clinched a playoff spot and has clinched the best record in the league. So the road to the NBA Finals once again goes through the Boston Celtics. We had home we had home court advantage a couple years ago, but we didn't go to the finals because I think it was the Miami Heat or Cleveland that beat us. I can't remember. But this year, the Celtics have the best record in the league, and we have clinched home court advantage throughout the playoffs, which honestly doesn't really make a difference because it's anyone's game. And I just want to talk about the Celtics' expectations. Um, we have to win an NBA championship. It's like seriously, we're overdue for a championship, and this is the team that can do it. We're built for it. Obviously. I'm not going to talk too much about what happened last night. It was a horrible, horrible loss. We lost to the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee, 104 to 91. It was devastating. I don't really. It was bad. But I'm just saying this team is built for an NBA championship. You especially got guys, especially like Jason Tatum. That guy definitely needs to win MVP. You got Jalen Brown. You got Drew Holiday, Derek White, Al Horford. You got these guys that are built for a championship. But the only issue is that this team, it just they make the dumbest, like easiest little mistake that you can make. Also a couple games before this loss last night, we were up by a lot. I think we were up by a bunch against the Hawks, and we choked it away. And we had the second night, the second time around, the Atlanta Hawks, and we couldn't get the job done because we choked like 6 minutes. It was it was one of the games I can't remember. It was like we choked away a lot of points in the last 6 minutes of the fourth. It was against the Kings actually, 101 to 100. We were up by a lot until we kind of clapped the end. That's something that the Celtics can't do, honestly. And looking back at the previous games, you have a tremendous win against Portland Trailblazers. You almost collapsed against the Kings. Um, excuse me, sorry. Um, and then you had a great game against the Thunder, and then it's just a downfall. But March 20th, I did go to the Celtics in Milwaukee game, which they end up winning. It was a blowout until they kind of choked at the end, so I was a little worried. But this Celtics team, man, the expectations. I just want to talk about. Sorry, I just want to talk about the recent games. Good effort, but the Milwaukee Bucks, obviously, they're tough with Giannis. When I went to the game on March 20th, they didn't have Giannis, so we have to see how it does. So basically, we are in first place in the whole league. So we're first in the Eastern Conference and if number one in the entire league. Clinched home court advantage throughout the playoffs. We have 62 wins, 17 losses. That just shows you how dominant this team is. Like holy shit. And the Boston Bruins, which I want to do a video of them. I keep saying it, but I keep forgetting. The Boston Bruins had the best record last season, but then look what happened in the playoffs. They choked away a 3-1 series lead to the Florida Panthers. Can't let that happen. I want to do a video. I will do a video sharing my thoughts about the Boston Bruins, fate in the playoffs and stuff like that coming up. But the Celtics, there's a lot of possible opponents for the Celtics in the playoff. Boston, Miami is number 8 right now, so Miami might be a possibility. And you know how the Miami Heat eliminated my Boston Celtics last season in 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's gonna be a tough one. It just you get eliminated by someone in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then you play them again in the playoffs. They could have your numbers again. Miami Heat, they're a great team, but they just not. I believe they had injuries and stuff like that. The Chicago Bulls are at number 9. The Atlanta Hawks are number 10, and then the Nets are 11. So I think the Nets. I don't think the Nets are gonna make it. I think there's a play-in tournament for the seventh, eighth, ninth, and tenth seed. So any of those teams might be facing my Celtics. So if I had to choose, probably maybe the Bulls will possibly be the better option. I don't know. The Hawks. I mean, people are saying that the Hawks beat the Celtics like 2 games in a row. They're screwed. But it's the regular season. It's come playoffs. The Celtics are gonna come through. Um, but yeah, the Heat obviously they were great throughout the years. Obviously, the big story is like when they had LeBron, but now they have Jimmy Butler. They got so many guys on that team. It's just they're a great team. Despite being a lower seed, they're still dangerous. It doesn't really matter. There's a lot of options in this playoffs. The New York Knicks, man, they were struggling because they didn't have 2 of their best players. Now they're at the number 3 seed, which they could be scary. So you never know. But I feel like the team to beat in this playoffs is probably Denver. If it comes to the NBA Finals. But the East, there's a lot of competitors. Like Milwaukee could come out of nowhere and upset us. The Knicks could beat us, obviously. But the Celtics, they've done so much to even lose like to these teams. I just feel like we need to like focus. We just can't stop making mistakes, miss shots. When I was at the game, we were missing shots. We weren't playing really good defense, and that Sacramento Kings game, we had to lead until we just was. The Kings were on like a 16 something run. Almost came back. They actually did come back, but we thankfully got a last second shot 101 to 100. So that's the type of mistakes that I don't want to see the Boston Celtics make. But truly, the Boston Celtics, they once again are the best team in the league. We got to show that or we got to show everyone that this is our house. This is our NBA championship this year that we're gonna win. But despite that, there's gonna be tough opponents. There's chances that Milwaukee might face off, push us to 7 games. The Knicks might push us to 7 games. Obviously, I don't know if the Heat. We have the Miami Heat's number, but you never know. It's playoffs, so regular season doesn't matter. Playoffs are a different monster. This Celtics team, they just gotta not put their heads up their ass. They gotta play. Last night was a horrible loss against Milwaukee. I figured maybe they start. I mean, because looking at the Celtics schedule, we have a few games left. We have the Knicks on Thursday, which is tomorrow, and then we got the Hornets, and then we got the Wizards, and then I believe that's it. We have 3 more games until the playoffs. So, I mean, I can imagine Joe Mazzola is going to put the starters to rest and start our bench. I love Joe Mazzola. Mazzola he's great coach. Brad Stevens was great as well, but unfortunately things didn't go well. Um, but I like Joe. He's great. But I just feel that's the case with the Celtics. It's just the tiny mistakes at the end. Not playing good. We can't play like that. Like the risk that you can play like that in the playoff and you're gonna cost us game. That's just what it is. But I love this team to death. The Bruins, man, like they just they just like they just choked away, which is hopefully something that I like to talk about. But yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about the Celtics. Just want to share my input about like what the playoff situation is. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing post game videos for each playoff game. But I will definitely be watching the playoffs. Probably do a little small video, share my thoughts about our first opponents. In the first round, maybe I don't know. but it's something. But anyways, my name is Bruin Steel, and I'm getting out of here.